सो यू नीड टू पिक अप राइट इन्फॉर्मेशन. अगर आप 70 पेज पढ़ने बैठ जाओगे तो सुबह से शाम हो जाएगी, तो भी आप कंप्लीट नहीं कर पाओगे. सो नीड टू स्किम थ्रू दोस पेजेस वेरी क्विकली. That will again obviously develop over a period of time, but you need to have that sort of capability, at least at very small stage or small scale. You need to have that
तो
capability.
मैं ऐसी कहूंगा कि आपने दैट लाइक वो था ना कि हिडन पॉइंट जो हाईलाइट कर सकता है.
Exactly.
हाँ, ये चीज, क्योंकि स्किमिंग थ्रू द डॉक्यूमेंट्स दैट रियली हेल्प्स अ लॉट. इट्स काइंड ऑफ जैसे 11वीं 12वीं वो कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव आता था, उसको
हाँ
पढ़ते थे.
हाँ.
वैसा काइंड ऑफ काम की चीज निकालो, बाकी मत पढ़ो. दैट्स रियली
Exactly,
गुड वन. यार,
exactly. So like today only I was having a I was reading an agreement that was 40-45 pages, right?
हे चंद्र प्रकाश सर. सो
Correct.
ऑडियंस के लिए बता दूं, हमारी कन्वर्सेशन पहले ही चल रही थी. सो ये रिकॉर्डिंग स्टार्ट नहीं हुई थी, ठीक है. सो नाउ वी हैव स्टार्टेड द रिकॉर्डिंग
Correct.
आल्सो. सर के बारे में थोड़ा सा बता देता हूँ ब्रीफ. प्राइवेट इक्विटी में बहुत टाइम से हैं, ठीक है.
Yeah. So
और
last 5 years.
स्टार्टअप इन्वेस्टिंग को बहुत क्लोजली मॉनिटर करा है, ठीक है. इन्वेस्ट भी करा है स्टार्टअप्स में. अभी फैमिली ऑफिस के साथ काम कर रहे हैं, जिनके बिहाफ पे ही लुक इनटू द स्टार्टअप्स एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट्स इनटू दैट स्टफ. सो लाइक kind of a, I would say, wholesome experience of startup investments and all of that thing. So मेरे लिए काफी नई चीजें सीखने वाली है. जैसे मेरी मोस्ट ऑफ द ऑडियंस जानती है, आप भी मेरे बारे में शायद थोड़ा बहुत जानते ही हो कि मैं जस्ट अभी इसी साल कॉलेज से ग्रेजुएट हुआ हूँ.
Yeah, that's
Yet,
very, brave of you. That just after completing the college, you have become a, entrepreneur. Normally, people find it very difficult to become an entrepreneur just after clearing the college. वो जॉब वगैरह में जाएंगे, कुछ करेंगे, but it's very brave of you to, becoming an entrepreneur at this early stage.
थैंक्स फॉर दैट. बट इस टॉपिक का ये नहीं था कि मैं तारीफ सुनना चाहता हूँ, ठीक है. अगेन तो अभी अभी मैं थोड़ा ये स्टार्टअप इन्वेस्टमेंट्स में मदद करता हूँ, वही सब चीजें, डील फ्लोज वगैरह में. इसी में अभी करंटली एक इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंक के साथ भी काम करता हूँ, ताकि डील फ्लोज वगैरह थोड़ी और चीजें सीख सकूं. क्योंकि पिछले वाले में हमने देखा कि हमने डील फ्लोज वगैरह दी तो सही, लेकिन मजा नहीं आया. तो लेट्स इम्प्रूव दैट पार्ट आल्सो. सो इस वजह से, हाँ. बट या, जंपिंग ऑन टू द कन्वर्सेशन.
Sure.
So let's start. Like हम previously discuss कर रहे थे about investments in certain cash burn that is happening all around. That's all stuff. We will continue that conversation. हम वही चीज कंटिन्यू रखेंगे, फ्लो बना रहे. लेकिन उससे पहले एक बार आप अपना थोड़ा सा ब्रीफ दे दो ऑडियंस को, ताकि वो और थोड़े से अच्छे से जान जाए.
Sure. So I'm a chartered accountant. Cleared all 3 levels in first attempt in 2016.
I'm a dropout.
Okay, very good. I mean, मतलब उससे इतनी help हुई नहीं, honestly, because the way you do things, that would eventually help you. मतलब वो degree won't help you much. That can give you bookish knowledge, but when it comes to practical aspect, you learn you learn things by doing those things. Correct. I think my voice is clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm a chartered accountant, cleared in 2016, started working with ICICI Bank in 2017. Didn't like the job much, so decided to drop off after working 6-7 months. Then at the time of resigning from that job, I was not having any idea that what I need to do or what I'm gonna do after resigning from that job. I took a month. I had a discussion with one of my seniors who was, who I think he was doing CFA. So I had a discussion with him and I told him that, भैया ये समझ में आ नहीं रहा है मुझे job, and this is one of the biggest reason that I want to kind of resign. So he told me that if you want to go in finance, valuation, equity, private equities, venture capital, then why don't you do CFA? So that's when I decided to do CFA, cleared level 1, level 2 in first attempt. And in October, and that was the time when I took a drop in my career. Normally people in CFA, they do it hand in hand while they are in the job, right? And so that was additional pressure on my part that normally जो लोग कर रहे हैं, मैं उससे थोड़ा सा हट के I'm doing the CFA and I'm taking a career break. So that was again a pressure on me. But ठीक है, मैं कहा चलो देखते हैं, अभी शादी वगैरह हुई नहीं है, there is no responsibility as such, so we can take that risk. So I took that, cleared level 1, level 2, and in October 2018 was a time when I started working with a company called Valiant Capital Partners. That's a Mumbai-based private equity and venture capital advisory firm. Fortunately, I was the first employee there, and got a chance to directly work with Ranveer Sharma. He was ex-India head for one of the private equity funds based out of UK. I think that fund got liquidated in 2014-15 somehow. And that's where he started his own advisory firm. And he onboarded a family office from UK itself, close to $100 million fund that was, and they had invested 35 million USD in India in FNB and FNB and spice processing space.
Consumer goods, right?
Consumer goods, correct. So we were managing that portfolio, and my part of or my area operation was to kind of speak with the CFO, the directors, to understand what is in the MIS, what kind of deviations they have as compared to the projections, right? And what are the reasons for those deviations, how we can improve that, right? So these were the discussions we used to have with the management, and that investment was in 2007. So by 2019 or 2020, they had already crossed 10 years, and I think the family office, they were of the view that now they should take an exit. So on that part, we had a discussion with a couple of investment bankers. We had a discussion with financial and strategic investors as well. That was the family office part. Then we were also appointed as a representative for one of the institutional investors based out of Hong Kong. I think they had invested close to 200 million USD in one of the InvIT's infrastructure investment trust in India, which is into road and highway space. So we were managing that portfolio as well. Like Ranvi, he would sit on the board of the portfolio companies, right? And we used to prepare monthly, quarterly reports for the investor. Then we would speak with the advisors, KPMG, EY, in loan restructuring, right? So this was something we did. Then besides that, I was involved in a couple of transactions in what do you call it, infra and FNB space. We prepared many financial models, presentations, right? And we also launched incubation platform called AventureX. We invested in a couple of startups while in the previous firm, right? So that was a 2.5 year stint, very good stint in Valiant in Mumbai. And after that, I moved to Delhi NCR. And now currently, as we speak, I think it's over 1.5 year I've been working for a family office. So it's a single family office, and there are two group companies. So I'm helping the chairman of these two group companies for investment in the startup space. We invest right from seed to Series A, and depending on the stage of the company, we invest anywhere between 100K USD to 500K USD, right? And I think, yeah, as far as our sector focus is concerned, we focus largely on tech startups, startups which are using technology as an enabler to provide their services. So having said that, we are not focused on product-based companies, D2C brands, or any F&B company, right? Or any consumer product company. We are not very much inclined towards, unless the opportunity is really exciting. Correct. So far, we have made a portfolio of 6 companies, doing pretty well. I do, monitor the performance of those companies, post investment monitoring, something I do. And so, yeah, I think that's pretty much it about me, Himanshu.
That's really cool of stuff, like I would say. मतलब मैं ना kind of very fond हूँ great mind से interact करने में, ठीक है? So like what that I'm doing also right now, but the thing is, like most of the things that I have heard as of now, कि तुम्हें portfolio management जरूर आना चाहिए.
Exactly.
क्योंकि तुम्हें फंड मिल गया, सब कुछ मिल गया, पोर्टफोलियो को कैसे संभालना है वो नहीं पता, डिप्लॉय भी अच्छे में कर दो, लेकिन क्या
correct,
करोगे क्या नहीं. You
correct.
have that experience.
So
You
in
had.
my case, I mean, I should not call it interesting thing. In my case, uh, the problem is that I'm able to handle only the private investment part.
Mm-hmm.
Right from early stage to late stage, something I can do because this has been my experience in last 5 years. So this is something I do. But when it comes to public equities, I find it
Yeah.
challenging, and I need to speak with the advisors that okay, ये public मतलब when normally people, if they have 100 crores, what they will do is that they will put 70 to 75% of that money in equity and debt. Remaining 20-25% would come in private equity. So from that perspective, the pool is very small, but it's very exciting because it has the highest potential to return.
Yeah, bro.
So if I compare the IRR of this 25 crore and the 75 crores, this would be much higher as compared to this, right?
100%.
So this is something very excited, but again, it's a limitation on my part or everyone's part that whoever is managing private equities, that they get to they need to, or they can kind of manage this small portion only. So
Yeah.
the big portion is still remaining, which
Yeah.
is something, as a portfolio manager, need to speak with relevant people who are the, stalwarts in that particular area.
That's cool. That's cool. क्योंकि मैं जितने भी अभी वीसी से मिला, मतलब मैंने इंटरेक्ट करा यूएस के वीसी फंड्स के जीपी से, इवन लाइट स्पीड, मैट्रिक्स, all of these guys, and I just reached out to them saying ki, hey guys, I just want to learn from you, let's get over a call. So all of these guys, like the guys I had talked. Yeah.
Oh, very interesting.
I just pinned them again and again until they get irritated.
Very interesting.
But yeah, we got over a call, we had a good discussion over there. So yeah. So like they all said me like जितनी भी चीजें होती हैं पोर्टफोलियो मैनेजमेंट और ये सारी चीजें, इनका एक प्रॉपर एक मिक्स मैच होना चाहिए किसी भी चीज के लिए, रिटर्न के लिए. ऐसा नहीं कि you just know कि how to find great startup and you will end up with great returns and all of that stuff.
Correct.
So I felt that you had pretty much of that experience in a wholesome manner. Yeah.
I had it. Correct.
Yeah, that's a really cool point, because till now I haven't interacted much of the people who had a whole of an experience. Like जितने भी पिछले family office से हुए, they are like there was one family office whom I interacted. They were into real estate. He's exploring the startup space right now.
Okay.
One family office I interacted with, I guess, yeah, your podcast will be later of her. Yeah. So I interacted with her. So they have been investing into the startup and that. So she's also the judge at Horse Stable. So
okay.
So also interacted with her. So she had an experience of that startup investment and all. But yeah, like क्या होता है कि कई बार ज्यादा फैमिली ऑफिसेस आर जस्ट लाइक उनका कोर बिजनेस जो होता है, दे आर मोर इनटू दैट स्टफ, एंड जस्ट व्हेनेवर यू इंटरैक्ट विद द गाइज इन फैमिली ऑफिसेस, they know much less as comparison to the other business that they are in, until unless they are into the investment stuff.
Correct.
The private equity and startup investment.
Right.
That happens.
So in my case, like what I do is that since it is early stage, so I need to kind of scout deals, and scouting deal is very interesting part of this process, but it is very important part as well. You cannot miss out on points क्योंकि आपने एक गलत डील चूज कर ली and you have confirm bias towards your choice. Normally as a human being you have a bias towards your choices unless you have someone else's opinion on that particular deal. मतलब अगर वो कुछ कमी नहीं गिनाएगा तो आपको वो दिखेगी भी नहीं कमी. Correct. So finding those shortcomings in that particular startup, that's something very crucial, very important. Right. So that's where I speak with the founders, I speak with angel investors, family offices, micro VC funds, or family office investment manager. So that's very exciting part of this job. being a person in this side, the investment side, speaking with these people, that's very exciting part. You मतलब आपने किसी को कोई स्टार्टअप समझ में आया, आपको लगा कि चलो बढ़िया है, तो लिंक्डइन पे फाउंडर को मैसेज कर दिया दैट आई एम फ्रॉम दिस फैमिली ऑफिस और दिस इन्वेस्टमेंट हाउस, आई लाइक योर पोर्टफोलियो, सो व्हाई डोंट वी स्पीक. सो उसको भी लगता है कि यार मतलब हाँ, obviously he is also in need of money and you want to invest in right opportunity, so that's where the mix and match happen.
एग्जैक्टली मतलब ये डील स्काउटिंग में ना मेरे को ये थोड़ा सा हार्ड ट्रूथ में समझ आया था शुरुआत में. देयर इज वन लाइक इन गुजरात देयर इज वन बिगेस्ट डायमंड मर्चेंट. His
I know.
I am in touch with his private VC fund.
Okay.
So earlier when he formed, like जब उनका form हुआ, I guess in the next week we got in touch.
Okay.
And I reached out to him like I did to any other platform. So he got in touch and all of that. So I shared him, might be like समझ नहीं आया या फिर मैं कोई अच्छे से उनका thesis समझ नहीं पाया, कुछ ऐसा हुआ. So मैंने उनको initially deal share करी, they were not that much of good enough. So that I thought that I learned in the hard truth कि कैसे थोड़ा सा डील को स्ट्रक्चर करना है, क्या क्या डिटेल्स पहले लेनी है और कैसे चीजों को स्ट्रक्चर आउट करना है. So yeah, that's
और उससे पहले क्या है ना कि सेक्टर की नॉलेज भी होनी चाहिए. लाइक करंटली माय फोकस इज फिनटेक. तो फिनटेक में हु आर द प्लेयर्स, व्हाट इज देयर बिजनेस मॉडल, what is the role of RBI, what is the role of a traditional banking ecosystem, what is the role of BNPL, what is the role of new age tech, new age fintech startups, and how they are being stitching themselves together to make a new ecosystem. वो सारा है ना मतलब पढ़ने से ही आता है.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, like if I am working 8 or 9 hours, or say for example 10 hours in my job, then at least 1.5 hours to 2 hours or 2.5 hours I'll devote for study only, reading articles. I'll take your story in 42 tracks and or whatnot. बहुत सारे आर्टिकल्स हैं, उनको डाल दिया ईमेल में, यू विल गेट द शॉर्ट नोटिफिकेशन कि चलो आज ये डील हुई है, आज ये सेक्टर में नया हुआ है. सो मतलब इतने आर्टिकल्स आते हैं कि आपको पढ़ने का टाइम ही नहीं मिलेगा. बट स्टिल you are able to if you are able to speak or read key articles, looking at the heading of that particular article, then that sort of creates an excitement, and that sort of creates your sector knowledge, and that will reflect when you identify deals. कि चलो ये डील है, आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया, अभी यार इसमें बिजनेस मॉडल जो है वो सिमिलर टू एनी अदर स्टार्टअप विच हैज गॉट फंडिंग. तो वैसी बहुत सारी फंडिंग हो चुकी है, तो आई विल स्किप दिस डील. अभी नेक्स्ट डील आई है, सो वहां पर द बिजनेस मॉडल इज प्रीटी गुड, एंड so far based on my study, I was not able to come across any such startup. So I think I should speak with the founder. So that's where your target would hit.
Yeah, that's 100% true. मतलब कईयों को लगता है कि ये बस ऐसा होता है कि फाउंडर्स के साथ जाके गप्पे मारो.
नहीं ऐसा नहीं, मतलब ऐसा होता तो है ना, जो 8-9 क्लास में जो पीछे बैक बेंचर्स है जिनको बातें करने में बड़ा मजा आता है, तो वो करते हैं मजे. I mean, with no offense to these people, बैक बेंचर्स भी है ना बहुत ज्यादा आगे बढ़े हैं, और स्पेशली अगर इफ आई लुक एट द रेशियो, these people would be at much higher positions as compared to people who used to sit in front. ठीक है, तो हैविंग सेड दैट, मतलब इट्स नॉट लाइक कि यार चलो फाउंडर से गप्पे लड़ा लिया और हो गया काम. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड योर बिजनेस मॉडल, अदरवाइज यू विल बी वेस्टिंग योर टाइम. और इनिशियली आपको पता नहीं पड़ेगा कि चलो वो टाइम वेस्ट हो रहा है, मजा आ रहा है, बट धीरे धीरे वंस यू गो इन दैट डायरेक्शन यू विल रियलाइज कि यार 6 महीने निकल गए, साल भर निकल गया, डील हुई नहीं है, और इतना टाइम वेस्ट हो गया. मतलब इवन दो आई हैव स्पोकन विद these so many people, but the outcome is zero. So वो है ना, फिर 6 महीने साल भर बाद लगता है कि यार कुछ तो गलत हुआ है.
एग्जैक्टली ये चीज बहुत होती है एक्चुअली में. उन्हें रिसर्च वर्क की इंपॉर्टेंस एनालाइज नहीं होती, कितना पढ़ना पड़ता है कई कई जगहों पर. कई बार तो अभी जैसे वो वेब 5 का आ गया था, वेब 5 अनाउंस हो गया कि वेब 5 बना रहे हैं. द फाउंडर ऑफ लाइक जैक डॉर्सी, ही अनाउंस्ड दैट आई एम बिल्डिंग वेब 5. So web 2 plus web 3 is building something over there.
Okay.
So अब उसके बारे में पढ़ो, and that's lot of उसने एक आर्टिकल उसका पब्लिक करा Now every individual will read only that article and will judge Web 5 according to that.
हाँ
बट अपने को ऐसा नहीं है. अपने को उसके चाहिए कि उसका अलावा भी और वेब 5 के पढ़ने पड़ेंगे, क्या है क्या चीज जो उसने कहा है वो उससे वैलिडेट होती है नहीं होती. सो या
करेक्ट. अभी if you look at the recent FTX fiasco, everyone is talking about cryptocurrency, ये है cryptocurrency, वो है this cryptocurrency, the background value is nothing, the store value is nothing, it's just a gamble casino playing. But I feel that blockchain as a concept is very important. Even though cryptocurrency may or may not be important, I mean, that's something time will tell. And especially looking at these incidents, FTX हो गया, or any other stock exchange or exchange, they have collapsed like anything. तो लोगों में डर है कि यार I should not invest in cryptocurrency. But I feel blockchain as a concept is here to stay, and there could be many use cases. Your gaming is one, healthcare is one, फाइनेंशियल में आपने जो ब्लॉकचेन का, जैसे कि पॉलीगॉन ने ब्लॉकचेन बनाया है, इथेरियम ने बनाया है, बाइनेंस ने बनाया है. सो ब्लॉकचेन एज ए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ब्लॉकचेन पे जो यूज केसेस हो रहे हैं, स्पेशली इन द क्रिप्टो करेंसी साइड, अभी दुनिया भर के ना रग पूल, इफ यू नो रग पूल इज, रग पूल में क्या होता है कि यू नो अ फाउंडर ही वुड क्रिएट अ करेंसी, ठीक है, और उसको मार्केट में लेके जाएगा, एंड ही विल टेक मनी ऑन दोस करेंसीज, और उसके बाद ही विल साइफन ऑफ द मनी फ्रॉम दोस करेंसीज. तो even though you have a cryptocurrency, but it has no value, क्योंकि उसकी सारी वैल्यू जो है वो किसी और ने निकाल ली है. That's called rug pull. बहुत सारे rug pulls हुए हैं फॉरेन कंट्रीज में. इंडिया में भी हमारे पास आई थिंक व्हाट वाज बाइनेंस ने किसमें इन्वेस्ट करा था, आई फॉरगॉट द कंपनीज नेम, जिसपे ईडी की अभी चल रही है. उन्होंने 45 करोड़ समथिंग कुछ कॉन्फिस्केट कर लिए ईडी ने. That's again I think exchange or something. But cryptocurrency, I don't think, and I myself have not invested in any of the cryptocurrencies. But I have spoken with people from IIT Bombay. They have invested 80 or 90% of their portfolio in cryptocurrencies. So I felt कि यार normally मतलब startup में भी लोग invest नहीं करते हैं, 80-90% तुमने उसमें कैसे कर ली? So he said कि यार I have a knowledge, but I don't know that after this FTS fiasco or Luna Terra crisis, what is the state of his portfolio. But I think this discussion I had with him a couple of months back, before I think Terra or Luna crisis. But all in all, the summary is कि blockchain as a concept is here to stay as an infrastructure, जिसपे बहुत सारी use cases बन सकते हैं. But when it comes to cryptocurrencies, yes, obviously, लोगों का जो faith है, that has gone down because of these recent incidents.
100%. Like एक पॉडकास्ट मेरा पीवी के साथ भी हुआ था, if you know, like he's from मारवा ग्रुप.
पीवी, अच्छा, प्रज्ञाशीष, हाँ, yes.
So हमने उसमें हार्डकोरली वेब3 के बारे में बात करी थी कि क्या चीज है क्या नहीं है. वो FTX के इंसिडेंट से पहले का है. So I do that stuff. But still I feel like कि होता क्या है कि जब भी कोई इंडस्ट्री बूम पे होती है तो इन्वेस्टर्स के साथ कई बार उसमें प्राइवेट इक्विटी में भी ट्रेडर्स आ जाते हैं, जिन्हें मैं कहता हूँ, जो शॉर्ट में खेलना चाहते हैं ज्यादा ही, कि हम तुरंत लेके तुरंत निकाल लें. तो वो सारा गेम गड़बड़ कर देते हैं. When the number of traders are more than the number of investors and the people become greedy so that they take the investment from
exactly.
That makes the game opposite.
Correct. In case of FTX, governance was the biggest issue. Like yesterday, I was reading an article and on LinkedIn only, and that said that if I am say for example, I am the manager of FTX, and you are, one of the employees, say for example, and you want to do expenditure on the part of the company. What you would do is that you would share a text to me on a platform where chat history is auto deleted, first of all. So there is no audit trail. If I as an auditor want to audit your expenditure, I'll not be able to do it. First is this thing. Second one is the approval method was that I'll give you a thumbs up. ठीक है, मकान ले लो, ठीक है, आप ये खर्चा कर दो, राइट? सो क्वांटम जो है मनी का, लाइक इवन दो इट इज 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, जस्ट अ हेड्स अप एंड यू आर गुड टू गो. सो दैट वाज समथिंग, आई वाज लाइक कि यार मतलब 3 मिल, इतनी बड़ी उन्होंने कंपनी बना दी, इतना बड़ा एक्सचेंज है, एंड द गवर्नेंस के नाम पे जीरो. सो दैट वाज समथिंग वेरी इंटिमिडेटिंग टू मी, दैट यार मतलब आप इतना लोगों का पैसा लेके आप ऐसे तो गवर्नेंस नहीं कर सकते हो. करेक्ट. सो दैट वे आई फेल्ट कि something is and that's where these people are the people who were saying previously that government is regulating our money, government is controlling the flow of money, they are not allowing us to do the transactions freely. These are the same people who are now saying that after losing their money in FTX or any other fiasco, they are saying that government should regulate these exchanges just to make sure that मतलब वैल्यू ऊपर नीचे होना, which is one thing शेयर मार्केट के जैसे, बट when it comes to these incidents जहां पर पैसा लोग बाग लेके भाग गए हैं, so government should regulate these parts. These are the same people who were saying पहले गवर्नमेंट को कोस रहे थे, और अभी बोल रहे हैं कि यार गवर्नमेंट शुड रेगुलेट इट. सो इट्स यू टर्न इन ऑन देयर पार्ट.
ये हर जगह रहता है मेरे हिसाब से. अब इन्होंने यहाँ पे भी दिख गया. तो ये तो बहुत पहले से था. बट हाँ, स्टिल it's good. I also believe like blockchain is a longer game. It's a new kind of a technology that will be staying. But yeah, how it will be going, the process, how it will be, the time will know that.
Right. Correct.
Now let's jump on to the things like since आपका experience सारा का सारा private equity में रहा, उसके बाद you build it out in the family office and all of that, now investing in startups. So tell like कई सारे नए जने हैं जो कि इसमें enter होना चाहते हैं. Private equity, family offices, venture capital and all of that stuff. So how should a journey for them looks like? क्योंकि मैं कईयों को देखता हूँ, जैसे अभी recently आज also I was with one of my CA friend who was there in my CA journey. He's also currently giving his exam of intermediate. I left at intermediate.
Correct.
So it's been a long time, like 2 साल हो गए, still intermediate. So, but the point is कि मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि CA के जने ना काफी हार्ड वर्किंग होते हैं, एक्सेप्शनली हार्ड वर्किंग.
यार उन्होंने पास करी सीए जो एग्जाम होता है, मतलब लोगों को 8-10 साल लग जाते हैं, उसके बाद भी दे keep on doing, keep on appearing those exams. So that way I feel that it's a very hard working game.
Yeah, I said him like कि वो जने यार बहुत हार्ड वर्किंग होते हैं, लेकिन मेरे को कई बार ऐसा लगता है कि कंपेयर इट लाइक दिस कि एक घोड़ा है, दमदार घोड़ा, बट वो होता है ना कि शादी वाले वो जो 2 यूं लगा देते हैं उनपे, वो लगा रखा है उनके ऊपर.
So it's a CA people, they are trained by the curriculum to be like tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Tunnel के इस साइड उस साइड कुछ नहीं देखा, they will go like tunnels, tunnel vision only. But the profession in which we are, right, PVC जो हो गया आपका, इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग हो गया, M&A हो गया, it is more of a front end game.
Exactly.
मतलब बैक एंड अगर आपको एनालिसिस करना है तो आप किसी को बीकॉम को सीए को बिठा दो, which is fine. But when it comes to the front end game, it is more of a game where someone who can express himself freely, who can network freely, who can explore opportunities with like-minded people, right? And that's where MBA comes. MBA लोगों को जो है, that's their curriculum कि यार चलो कल presentation देनी है, that's their curriculum. So these people are trained that way, and that's why if you look at VC funds, private equity funds, or M&A or investment banking companies, largely you would find MBAs because of the front end nature of the job, right? When it comes to CAs, like since I'm CA, so I can relate that in CA curriculum, focus is more on the concept, right? Focus is more on to solve the problem. It was never a focus to speak with people, networking, express yourself freely. Like even though हमारे पास वो training होती थी, OT orientation program वगैरह वो होता था, but that was hardly, मतलब 10-15 दिन का हो जाएगा, अब उसमें आप क्या सीख लोगे? ठीक है, पहले तो है ना बच्चे डरे डरे रहते हैं वो।
कोविड में तो दोस्तों ने ऑनलाइन करा है वो भी।
हाँ, वो अभी ऑनलाइन हो गया है, ठीक है। सो फ्रॉम दैट पर्सपेक्टिव आई फील कि मतलब आप 10-15 दिन के ट्रेनिंग में ना किसी को है ना वो घोड़ा नहीं बना सकते हो आप, ठीक है। सो आपको है ना वो रिगरस ट्रेनिंग कंटिन्यूअस देनी पड़ेगी, तब जाके यू विल हैव अ एमबीए काइंड ऑफ अ कैंडिडेट। बट सो दैट्स अ शॉर्टकमिंग, आई फील दैट दैट्स ऑन अ शॉर्टकमिंग ऑन द पार्ट ऑफ CAs. But when it comes to conceptual clarity, technical clarity, or quantitative clarity, I feel CAs, they are far ahead of MBAs. मतलब MBAs they know कि आपको माल बेचना कैसे है. But CAs, I feel, I'll take a quote from Ratan Tata. He says कि यार MBA जो है वो I'm not able to recollect, but the second phrase is that business चलाना कैसे है. I think for that I will hire a CA. Correct. So that's where, and things are changing now. I'll take my example only that CA कर लिया और CFA level 1 क्लियर हो गया, लेकिन level 2 का जो रिजल्ट है वो मेरा पेंडिंग था, right? And in between that period I appeared for at least 11 12 I think to 11 or 12 interviews I guess, and everyone was asking ki what is your CFA level 2 result, because normally us time, like it was 2018, 4 years back. So these people, they would ask me what is your CFA level 2 result. I'll tell them that I have not received the result yet, but you can take my interview. Okay, they will take the interview, but for one reason or another they will decline my this thing. But at the end of the day I got my result, and I think that was one of the main reasons that I got in Valiant Capital Partners. Normally CAs ko, this was the biggest reason that people would not entertain just only a CA. If you have CFA, that's an added advantage, because CA जो है आपको bookish knowledge दे देगा, conceptual clarity दे देगा, but how to implement those technical that technical knowledge in real world scenario, that's where CFA as a course comes in. वो आपको बताएगा कि यार वैल्यूएशन ये है, वैल्यूएशन इसको ऐसे करना है, इस सिचुएशन में ऐसे करना है, इस सिचुएशन में वैसे करना है. सो दे विल टेल यू कि यार this is the practice which CFA as a curriculum gives, and that's very helpful for someone who is from CA background and want to get into PVC or IB or M&A. Just CA, I feel that even though they will be able to get it, but they need to start from internship, which would be a low paying job. If they have done CFA L1 L2, then slightly their chances of getting into a tier 1 VC fund or micro VC fund, that increases by many fold.
That's true. What would be like 2 to 3 skills that you will suggest कि ये तो होना चाहिए यार अगर इसमें घुस रहे हो तो? एक तो आपने people skill बोला,
नेटवर्किंग स्किल, मतलब हाँ, मतलब ठीक है, वो तो धीरे धीरे, लाइक सी इफ आई टेक माय एग्जांपल ओनली अगेन, if I were to compare myself with the current version with someone who I was in 2017, right? So I would see a drastic change. Reason being, in between that period, even though at that time also like I was CA and I cleared CFA level 1 level 2, but at that time I did not have that much exposure of speaking with people. So the more you speak with people, the more you get to learn, the more confidence you gain. Like if we were having this conversation in 2018 or 2019, I would fumble a lot. I need to speak, I need to think or phrase the sentences in my mind, and after that I'll be able to speak with you. But over a period of time, the more you speak with the people, even though मतलब वो ठीक है फालतू की बात भी होगी, it is not relevant to your work, but if you have exchanged few words relevant to your sector with someone, that will give you some sort of confidence कि यार चलो मुझे इस सेक्टर में पता है, सामने वाले ने इस सेक्टर में बताया, सो दिस इज एन एडिशनल नॉलेज. सो द मोर knowledge you start developing, the more confidence you will gain, and that would happen over a period of time. मतलब आपने एमबीए कर लिया, unless you are एमबीए, तो that's a different game. but आपने सीएफए L1 L2 L3 कर भी लिया, उसके बाद भी you need to go through that process of speaking with people. The more you speak with people, the more you build your network. That will give you confidence of speaking with random people, putting your thoughts in front of them. So networking is one, obviously, and PVC is something that's a very quantitative game. तो आपको numbers तो है, you should be on top of the numbers. ठीक है, यू कैन नॉट मेजर अप ऑन कि यार मेरे को 4x4 भी नहीं आता. आई एम जस्ट टेकिंग एग्जांपल, बट you should be on top of the numbers, correct. And third one is you need to pick up. आपको क्या होगा कि पीवीसी में, एमएनए में क्या होता है, सबसे बड़ी बात की बहुत सारे लंबे चौड़े एग्रीमेंट पकड़ा देंगे आपको. सो यू नीड टू पिक अप right information of those 50 from those 70-80 pages paragraph, or agreements. So you need to pick up right information. अगर आप 70 पेज पढ़ने बैठ जाओगे तो सुबह से शाम हो जाएगी, तो भी आप कंप्लीट नहीं कर पाओगे. So you need to skim through those pages very quickly. That will again obviously develop over a period of time, but you need to have that sort of capability, at least at very small stage or small scale. You need to have that capability.
मैं ऐसी कहूंगा कि आपने दैट लाइक वो था ना कि हिडन पॉइंट जो हाईलाइट कर सकता है.
Exactly.
हाँ, ये चीज, क्योंकि स्किमिंग थ्रू द डॉक्यूमेंट्स दैट रियली हेल्प्स अ लॉट. इट्स काइंड ऑफ जैसे 11वीं 12वीं वो कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव आता था, उसको पढ़ते थे, वैसा काइंड ऑफ काम की चीज निकालो, बाकी मत पढ़ो. दैट्स रियली
exactly. So like today only I was having a I was reading an agreement that was 40-45 pages, right. अभी मैं उसको पूरा पढ़ने बैठूंगा तो मेरा दूसरा काम नहीं होगा, right. So you need to be multitasking also. मतलब मल्टीटास्किंग तो आपको करनी ही पड़ेगी कि आपने यू आर वर्किंग ऑन वन डील, उसका ईमेल करना है. यू आर वर्किंग ऑन सेकंड डील, उसमें कुछ कैलकुलेशन करनी है. यू आर वर्किंग ऑन थर्ड डील, उसमें कुछ और करना है. सो यू नीड टू बी मल्टीटास्किंग आल्सो. सो दिस इज अगेन a very good advantage for people if they are already doing multitasking good, और नहीं कर रहे हैं, then they you need to be you need to have a hands-on experience, or you should start doing multitasking.
That's 100% right. Like जब भी मेरे से ऐसे पूछा जाता है, since आपका तो you are into like CA CFA, but अपने साथ थोड़ा सा अलग सीन था.
So you are from science background or what?
नहीं, I am from a commerce background.
अच्छा.
Like I took science, then I shifted to commerce, then I went into open school of learning, then I took regular, then I
varied
did
knowledge, varied experience.
CA, CS, all of that shit. So
oh, you were in CS also? Didn't know
yeah,
that.
I am like both foundation I gave together, so both cleared. CS का MCQ आता है.
अच्छा. बढ़िया बढ़िया.
So like so वो सब सीन था, लेकिन मेरे साथ ऐसा रहा कि जितना मैंने देखा कि एक तो नेटवर्किंग जो आपने कहा, मैंने बस मैं जब एंटर कर रहा था, इट टुक मी लाइक अराउंड 4 to 5 months टू कंप्लीटली अंडरस्टैंड कि भाई घुसूं कैसे इसमें.
But still that is very brave of you कि on at this stage or at this age, just after completing college, लोगों को पता भी नहीं होता है कि करना क्या है आगे. मतलब ठीक है, कर लिया कॉलेज, जस्ट ऐसे डिग्री उन्होंने कर लिया. I'll tell you and I can bet on this that अगर कोई, if someone is doing their BCom from a tier 2 or tier 3 city, or say for example any other city, then 90 to 95% people, they would not, if they are just doing BCom, say for example, then 90 to 95% people, they would not have any idea of what they need to do unless they are doing CA CFA simultaneously. That's a different thing. But if they are doing just BCom, then majority of the cases they would not have any idea what they need to do after completing this. BCom ठीक है, मतलब आप थोड़ा पढ़ोगे, हंसते लिखते हो जाएगी, but serious game start after doing BCom कि बस करना क्या है आप. I do not have any clarity, and you have that clarity, so heads off to you.
शायद है, ठीक है. Still figuring out all that stuff, but ठीक है, feels की थोड़ी बहुत है. But what I figured out कि फंड्स को बेसिकली I was looking primarily into funds कि फंड्स को चाहिएगा. जैसे इससे पहले जब मैं स्टार्टअप कर रहा था, सो आई स्टार्टेड माय फर्स्ट स्टार्टअप इन 2019
Okay.
prior entering into my college.
Okay.
So when I was doing startup, so तब से मैं कर रहा था, लेकिन अब जब मैं पिछले स्टार्टअप में I got into like funds वगैरह all of that. तो मैंने यूरोप के फंड ऑफ फंड के साथ काम करा
Okay.
एज अ स्काउट वगैरह ही, ये सब चीजें. सो उनका इंडिया में लीड करता था. दे वर नॉट वेरी इनटू इंडिया, सो आई पिच देम इंडिया, आई शो देम द ग्रोथ एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. सो दैट वाज माय फर्स्ट एक्सपोजर टू पिच टू एनी फंड to invest into a particular country.
Correct.
So that was whole lot of different experience. But yeah, back to the things. Like ये चीज एक्सप्लोर करनी थी कि घुसे कैसे. तो मैंने 2-3 चीजें देखी कि जीपीस को एलपीस चाहिए होते हैं पहली फंड रेस करने के लिए. तो उन्हें कहीं से या तो एलपीस ला दो.
Correct.
उन्हें डील्स चाहिए होती है या तो कहीं से डील्स ला दो.
Correct. Correct.
तीसरी, मैंने ये वेग चीज नोटिस करी दैट ऑल जीपीस आर नॉट वेरी गुड मार्केटर्स. They do not know how to market them, they do not know how to place them. क्योंकि अभी इंडिया के अंदर 2011 में अराउंड 10 से 12 फंड्स थे. Currently, as per SEBI, I am talking about. I don't know.
I think 900 plus कुछ तो है.
937 plus.
हाँ.
So इतने funds आ चुके हैं. Now, how do you differentiate yourself? Like you guys also invest in funds, so that's the common thing.
Correct. Correct.
So I was a kind of a finance plus marketing guy. So इस वजह से I had 3 things like marketing stuff also.
Correct.
So, अब इस 3 चीजों में मदद करेंगे फंड्स के साथ और फिर एक्सप्लोर करेंगे कैसे क्या चीज हो सकती है. So that's how I figured out कि यार कुछ ऐसा अगर दें कि जिस फंड को जो चीज की जरूरत है अगर हम उधर वो फुलफिल कर देंगे आप. So that's how you can enter. It's kind of a more like धंधे वाली चीज की.
हाँ, obviously मतलब अल्टीमेटली ये है, धंधा ही है.
हाँ,
आप है ना, भले उसको इंग्लिश में बिजनेस बोल दो, बट अल्टीमेटली जो है वो बेसिक लेन देन है. आपको वो आता है कि धंधा कैसे चलता है, वो अश्नी ग्रोवर की लैंग्वेज में कि धंधा कैसे बनाना है. If you know that, then you are successful. And if you don't know how to manage money, then you are not successful.
Exactly. इस पे तो अभी मैं एक बार आपसे बात करूंगा how to manage money पे, क्योंकि ये I am very my favorite topic. That my like core motivation. I know थोड़ा सा stretch हो रहा है podcast.
Yeah.
It will take like 10 minutes more or something. So सीन क्या था कि तो मेरे ख्याल से people skills so is must that you should like networking and all of that. Second is startup analysis, and third is like
I think quantitative knowledge.
Yeah, that's the thing. And third I would say is would be varying according to fund of fund. Like you can figure out like what the exactly funds need and how you can contribute. Correct. Because जरूरी नहीं हर फंड में तुम हो तो हर फंड पिच करना बंद करो. That's also the stuff. Yeah, so that's what I have figured out. That's cool. So now last thing, managing funds in India, there are like number of MSMEs.
Yeah,
not everyone is a great company.
Correct.
Even I belong to a business family. We are not that key that kind of investing in different asset classes. वो सब नहीं है, normal business. So but the thing is what I figured out कि business हर किसी को करना आता है, but कर लेता है, मतलब हर किसी को नहीं कहूंगा, business बंदे कर लेते हैं, MSME कर
पैसा कमाना बड़ी आसान, मतलब as compared to managing money, पैसा कमाना आसान बात है, but उस पैसे को grow करना, manage करना, how to create wealth out of that money, that's something very important and people should know it. But unfortunately in India, people don't know about it, much about it.
Exactly. वो वाला point, क्योंकि ये चीज मैंने बहुत देखी है कि not able to manage funds, not able to get their funds on building funds, just keep on making funds to meet their needs. So how do you reflect on that कि अगर कोई business है, क्योंकि जो पॉडकास्ट की जनरल ऑडियंस होती है वो स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं, फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम गीक्स होते हैं, ये सब लोग होते हैं. सो दे आर लाइक कि उनको चीजें देखने की फंड्स और फंड्स, नवल को हर कोई सुनता है यहाँ पे मोस्टली. सो वहां से उन्होंने चीजें सीखी है. बट आई गेस ज्योग्राफीज के हिसाब से, कंट्रीज के हिसाब से डिसीजंस बहुत ज्यादा वेरी कर जाते हैं, एक्ट्स बहुत ज्यादा वेरी कर जाते हैं. सो इट मे नॉट बी दैट नवल की नॉलेज हर कंट्री में एग्जैक्टली एप्लीकेबल हो, और वो ही रहे भले, लेकिन बट व्हाट according to you in India would be much more applicable since you have been into this.
So as far as retail investors are concerned, there are many applications in the market. They can start with mutual funds if they want to have public equities exposure, but they need to they should not park their money. Like I'll take this guy's example, I forgot his name, Anoop I forgot the name. Anyways, so what he says is that if you have 10 lakh rupees, say for example, I'm talking about the retail investor, then uh, 20-30% you can park it in FDs for emergency funds, maybe, right? The remaining money should go in public equities or debt, because in India, we have normally the inflation in the range of 5 to 6%, 7%, correct? और हमारे को एफडी कितना रिटर्न देती है? 5%, 6%.
5-6%.
सेविंग्स बैंक अकाउंट देता है 2.5-3% होगा, ठीक है? सो फ्रॉम दैट पर्सपेक्टिव, यू आर कीपिंग योर मनी इन एफडी, इफ यू आर कीपिंग योर मनी इन सेविंग्स बैंक अकाउंट, देन indirectly you are, devaluing your money, right? So just to mitigate that thing, you need to invest in public equities. Historically, Indian share market, they have, I think, provided 12 to 15% return historically, right? If I look at the CAGR. So someone need to invest in, those kind of products. Mutual fund is obviously best example, that you can invest in hybrid securities. You can invest in advantage fund, which is a mix of what do you call it, debt and equity. Ki ek major portion would go in debt, smaller portion would go in equity, just to safeguard your money from the volatility of stock market. We have seen volatility, like COVID में वो 20-25% नीचे गिर गया. Similarly, after this Russia-Ukraine war, after increasing the oil prices, the market has gone down. But again, it has bounced back. Correct. So from that perspective, I feel ki if just in order to avoid the volatility, you can invest in hybrid or balanced advantage mutual funds. If you are a retail investor, right, you can invest in debt securities, market linked debentures, GSEC, your government securities, government bonds. I think Zerodha pe available, if I'm not wrong. Then if you want to have a fixed income, right, 8-9%, 10% without any market exposure, अगर आपको return आ जाए, then there are applications like Giraffe, application like Grip, I think Grip, right? Right, and there are a couple of other applications where you can invest your money and to buy the assets, and those assets will be leased out to a company which will be giving you the lease rental, right? So that would be a 9, 10, 11%, 12% recurring revenue you would be able to earn, right? This is a retail investor. As far as HNIs or family offices are concerned, they should hire professional people who can manage their money. And for them, I would say that the breakup could be that 70 to 75% of their money would go in securities like debt and equities, right? Debt and equities, again, the securities would remain same. They would directly contact with the brokers, and the securities will get credited to their account, right? And they can have a flavor of alternative investments as well, because their pocket allows that, right? So that's where early stage investments comes in. Seed, pre-seed, series A तक आपने direct investment कर दिया. We can write 3 lakh, 4 lakh check. Say for example, if you are doing through angel investment or angel fund, and if you want to write directly to the startup, you can go up to 25 lakh, 30 lakh, 1 crore, right, directly in the startup, right? And if you are a slightly bigger family office, you can invest in your early stage or late stage VC funds also, just to cover the entire spectrum. Correct. So this is something I think could be a good thesis for to manage money.
एक चीज दो चीज मेरी टेक अवे रही है यहाँ से. पहला तो ये था कि पोर्टफोलियो को ढंग से समझो और डाइवर्सिफाई करो.
एग्जैक्टली डाइवर्सिफिकेशन इज द की. अदरवाइज क्या होगा कि अगर आपने हेल्थ केयर में ही सारा डाला है और गवर्नमेंट कल से ना कोई रेगुलेशन लेके आ गई, करेक्ट, सो आपका पोर्टफोलियो या तो ऊपर जाएगा या नीचे जाएगा. सेम गोज फॉर फिनटेक आल्सो. आरबीआई हैज कम अप विद सम न्यू, लाइक दिस हैज हैपेंड एक्चुअली, दैट VC funds who were heavy on fintech startups, especially in BNPL cases, और पीपीआई लाइसेंस वाला जो केस था आरबीआई ने, तो उन्होंने वो बैन कर दिया। तो उस केस में स्लाइस दे हैड टू शट डाउन देयर card thing. There were a couple of other startups who had to shut down their card things. And now their core business model on which they raised money, that has fallen flat. Correct. So उस एंगल से भी आपको डाइवर्सिफिकेशन थोड़ा ध्यान में रखना पड़ेगा कि आप खाली एक ही सेक्टर में ना करो, right? You need to choose couple of sectors where you have decent knowledge and you can collect right deals and you can invest. अगर आपने एक ही इन्वेस्टमेंट में, एक ही सेक्टर में एक्सपर्टाइज है, गुड, बट मार्केट अप जा रहा है तो आपका पोर्टफोलियो चला जाएगा. बट सडनली गवर्नमेंट कुड कम अप विद अ रेगुलेशन, इन दैट केस योर मनी विल wiped off.
100%, 100%. And the second takeaway that I took is, अगर नहीं आता तो एडवाइजर रखो भाई. सब कुछ खुद से मत करने का ट्राई करो.
मनी इज समथिंग, अगर आपको मैनेज करना है तो either you manage it if you have knowledge. If you do not have time, if you do not have knowledge, it's better to hire someone who has the knowledge. Otherwise क्या होगा कि तुक्के में, मतलब आई हैव सीन मेनी ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स जिनको आता नहीं है बट वो तुक्के में कर रहे हैं पब्लिक मार्केट में, बट कोई दिन ऐसा आएगा जब वो सारा पैसा साफ हो जाएगा.
अपना थोड़ा सा पैसा बचाने के चक्कर में अपना सारा पैसा गवा दो.
और होता है कितना है यार, मतलब दे विल नॉट चार्ज यू मच यार, आई गेस.
हाँ, वो चीज
There
है.
are
बट
many wealth management provide wealth management companies. AWS is there, ICC is there, HDFC they have it, right? So if you are a large family office, you can go to these people, right?
वो चीज है
To help manage, yeah.
साथ में अपना टाइम भी गवाते हैं ना खुद से मैनेज करने में.
हाँ एग्जैक्टली, मतलब आप वो काम है ना, आपका जो कोर बिजनेस है उसको चलाने में लगाओ ना, जहाँ पर आपका दिमाग चलता है कि धंधा, हाँ यहाँ से पैसा कमाना है, उसको बढ़ाना कैसे है वो किसी और पे छोड़ दो who has the knowledge of it.
Exactly. But yeah, on a sweeter note, like it was great interacting with you as always.
Same
तो
great
मजा आया, ऑडियंस को भी मजा आया होगा. ये वाला पॉडकास्ट इतना ही रहेगा ना, क्योंकि आई होप कि काफी क्रस्टफुल नॉलेज मिली होगी ऑडियंस को. बहुत वीसी में घुसने से लेकर आपकी जर्नी, covering each and every aspect over there. So for me, it was like fun interacting and really great insights about managing money and all of that too.
Same here.
So yeah, so like thank you for being till to you as well as to the audience जो यहाँ तक देख रही होती है. गिने चुने लोग बचते हैं एंड तक आने वाले भी.
Correct.
So इसलिए, so yeah, we'll see you guys in the next podcast.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.